From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, July the 14th, 2023. Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has concluded his state visit to Azerbaijan, holding meetings in the country, which borders Iran, with its president, prime minister, and other senior officials, where Gallant said, "We discussed opportunities to widen defense cooperation," which he said contribute to the security of both nations as well as to regional peace and stability. Telling local reporters that in recent years, Iran has been leading a worldwide terror campaign with unprecedented scope, targeting Israelis and Jews around the world. There have been more than 50 attempted attacks in recent years, he said, and thanks to our defense establishment, thanks to close cooperation with many countries, and thanks to the understanding that Iran is a global threat, we foiled these attempts and saved lives. Israel's leaders shared their outrage over permission granted by police in Sweden to allow a request to burn a Hebrew Bible and a Christian Bible outside the Israeli embassy in Stockholm tomorrow, Saturday. The applicant calling it a symbolic gathering for the sake of freedom of speech. Just 2 weeks ago, permission was granted for a Quran to be burned next to a mosque in the city, also citing freedom of speech. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tweeted today, calling the decision shameful. He said the sacred books of all religions must be respected. Israel's President Isaac Herzog said he condemned the burning of the Quran, sacred to Muslims world over, and he said, "I am now heartbroken that the same fate awaits a Jewish Bible, the eternal book of the Jewish people. Permitting the defacement of sacred texts," he said, "is not an exercise in freedom of expression. It is blatant incitement and an act of pure hate." B'nai B'rith International vociferously, it said, condemned the act, saying a democracy cannot okay hate crimes. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder said this provocative and hateful act has no place in civil society. The American Jewish Committee yesterday joined with the National Urban League and the Anti-Defamation League in the relaunching of the bipartisan Congressional Caucus on Black Jewish Relations. First launched in 2019, it will be co-chaired by Representatives Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Nikema Williams, and Wesley Hunt. Wasserman Schultz said Jewish tradition teaches that it is incumbent upon us to speak out and act against injustice. African American and Jewish communities have a long shared history of confronting discrimination and racism in the United States, and the recent rise of white supremacy, bigotry, and anti-Semitism poses a direct threat to both of our communities. She said this caucus will build upon our historic fight for a better, more peaceful world, while also raising awareness in Congress about the common issues facing our communities. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, July the 14th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, it's Muzika with Geva Alon. At 9, the film The Forgotten Refugees. At 10, Eric Goldman speaks with Karen Heilig about her film Reckonings. Then at 10:30, a replay from the Hampton Synagogue, followed by a replay from Central. And coming up next, it's a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, July the 14th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well, and Shabbat Shalom.